Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is Jasmine. Thank you so much for joining me again. So today we are going to get into our homeschool videos, like not a planner setup, and actually if you missed that, I will link it in the iCards above so that way you can go see how I set up my planner. I married a teacher and a student planner and put it together to make the perfect planner for me. Anywho, today, what we are going to do is get into how I am preparing for the upcoming school year. So what weeks will be on, what weeks we will be off, and how I planned all of that and how I thought out the process, the curriculum that we will be using, not exactly as far as like the books, but how I've mapped out what I want my children to learn. Also, I'll go ahead and tell you the ages of what I'll be doing. So I'm pretty much going to be doing all four of my children this year. Last year is just my oldest, but the two middle were in, they were in preschool, but my husband, me and him discussed it, and he was like, you know, he feels as though I am fully capable of homeschooling my children. So, you know, that feels good that my husband is on board and he's like, you got it, babe. So I'm like, okay. So, yeah, we've decided to take them out and I will be doing them here at the house as well. I wish that we would have discussed that earlier because now I'm kind of like, oh, kind of nervous about it just because, you know, that's a lot. That's 4 kids. So anyway, the ages she'll be 10 in September. So she'll be entering into the 4th grade. I will have 2 kindergartners because he is not as far as she is, but I don't want to start him on pre-K because I feel like that's too low, and then kindergarten may be too high for him. But you know, maybe if I can start off slow with him, and then maybe he'll be there on like kindergarten level where he needs to be, as where she is extremely smart. Trying to fix my eyebrows, but I didn't get them done. Anyway, you know, y'all know I like to be transparent with y'all. I like to make y'all laugh. But anyway, she's just a little bit more advanced. So I feel like starting her off in the kindergarten would be good. She's 4. Well, so in August, she'll turn 4, he'll turn 5. And then I have my 2-year-old. And so I'll be starting with her on that pre-K level. But I will go over all of that when I flip the camera, and we'll be able to get down on my notes and on my paper and show you how I'm doing that. So if you would like to see that, please stay tuned so that way we can get into that and we can see exactly how I am starting to plan out my homeschool for my children. Stay tuned. So now I just kind of want to walk you through the process of the paper part, what I had to do. So initially, when you decide that you want to homeschool, you need to check with your state what the requirements are. So in the state of North Carolina, our requirements are that we have to register by, after July 1st, and then you register all of your children that will be homeschooled. You have to come up with the school name, and then they go through the process of whether or not they're going to approve you or not. Then you have to take that documentation over to the school where your child is currently attending, if your child has attended a public school. So I had to do that part. If your child is not in a public school and you were just, you know, and this is in the state of North Carolina, and you were just wanting to homeschool them, you just have to register them at the age that they say that is required. So I only have to register my daughter, but when my son turns 7, I have to register him because then he has to be tested, and legally I had to report him the fact that he is being homeschooled, and so on and so on. Okay. So then in the state of North Carolina, we have 180 days that we have to homeschool because that is the same amount of days. And actually, if you want to know a little fun tip, not a fun tip, but a little fun fact, is that I was looking on was trying to see how many days that the actual school system goes through, and come to find out it said 179 days. I said, that's not 180. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. They'll probably get that extra day in when it snows. They'll probably add in 2 extra days, so then they'll have it. Okay, so first I decided that I did lots and lots of research as far as people who homeschool at my church. I also did people who homeschool at online. So all of those people who do the all the YouTube videos that they do online, and then also there is lots of homeschool information on Pinterest. Okay, so here is, I came up with 3 different options to look at to see which one I wanted to use as far as getting the amount of days and being able to take holidays and birthdays and making sure that we have enough wiggle room if we have to like take a day off for a doctor's appointment or whatever, because those days are not, they're not included in because sometimes they're just what comes up. All right, so here is the first option that I had done, which was a 9 weeks on, 2 weeks off. But that put us starting at August 5th and then ending June 19th. But we would have to take our test dates. Oh, okay, we're later in the year for this one. It was July 15th through the 16th. No, that's this year. Hold on. Okay, so the end of year test would have been June 17th and 18th. Okay, so they either, depending on the test that you get, they either test on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday. But anyway, that is where that would have put us. And then it would have been 4 9-week sessions and 1 3-week session. Wait a minute. That's not supposed to say that. It's supposed to be 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's supposed to say, I don't know what it's supposed to say. 3, 2. Okay. So we're homeschooling August 5th through June 19th. And it's 4 9-week sessions, 3 2-week breaks, and then 1 3-week session with a 1-week break. Okay, it was very confusing, obviously, because you saw me struggle a little bit. So this was option number 1, okay? Then some people were saying that they do 6 weeks on, 1 week off. So then I went in and I researched that, and the only, how I'm getting these days is that I go in, I look at my academic calendar. That's what you need to look at, is your academic calendar or some sort of calendar. This is just the one that's in the teacher planner. But what you need to do is look at a calendar and see your days from August or September to June or July, depending on when you want to start and stop your school. And then you get your amount of days. If you're not big on holidays and you don't want to take those off, then don't take those off. Okay, so I did the 6-week sessions. So the 6-week sessions put us at 6 6-week sessions and 6 1-week off. So then we would start August 5th and end May 29th. But I want to say that our days were a little bit short and we didn't have any wiggle room in there. So I was like, that one's not going to work either. So then I went back in, tried again. I did 9 weeks on, 1 week off. I think this is the one that we're going to do. And it gives us, it pretty much gives us, we're only off for the month of July. So my daughter is not too happy about that, but the last few weeks will be just kind of like fun weeks or something like that, because it gives us a total of 200 days, but I wanted that wiggle room because some days we just don't do school, okay? I mean, let's be real. We're at home. Some days we just don't do school. So if we wake up, I'm not feeling good, she's not feeling good, one of the other kids are not feeling good, we have still a 20-day wiggle room where we can still take off, and still have 180 days. So I think this is the one that we're going to go with, and I marked it in here. And then what I will do is I'll go in and mark everything else. I'm just kind of still nervous because I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that. But I mean, look at the date now. It's July 19th and we're quickly approaching August 5th. Okay. So the next thing that you need to do is figure out what kind of curriculum and supplies you will be needing for your school. Because we are a faith-based homeschooling family. We use Masterbooks, which is very Christian based. I will go through that and show you guys what we have and what we are getting when everything, what we will be using when everything arrives. So I got half of the books, but not all of them. And when I do that video, I would like to do it with all of them and explain to you how it's usually used and the curriculum that we'll be going through. But basically, I went So basically what I did was I decided that of course we have to have handwriting. So I had to decide on a handwriting. A lot of people had told me that a reason for was a really good curriculum. So this year we will be trying a reason for handwriting and a reason for spelling. Spelling will just be like an extra added curriculum because in this language arts, it gives us spelling words that we will be doing each week. Again, my child is not happy about that. I don't know why she dislikes elementary school. I guess maybe because it's harder than what it was when I was in school. But we will be doing science. It's a set called God's Design for Life. It basically just goes through like animal life, human life, and I think plant life. I think that's what it goes through. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. We'll be doing math lessons for a living education. And all of this is going to be on the 4th grade level, except for the handwriting, because the handwriting starts in cursive writing. And the 4th grade was already into cursive writing, going in, it was going into a little bit deeper stuff. So she wasn't ready for that one. Okay, so that, and then we'll be incorporating the morning basket this year. So this past year, I was not organized, very unfocused. Together we were unmotivated. But this year I'm very excited and I'm ready to get down and dirty with everything. All right, so for the little ones, they will be definitely doing handwriting, language, and math, and of course on their level. And then all of them will be doing a devotion, prayer time, reading time, and there was one other like major component as far as their morning. Let's see, prayer, devotion, Bible study, reading. That's pretty much it. I mean, of course it has Spanish and poetry and character development, but I don't think that was a part of like what was major. Okay, so this is their morning routine that I'm trying to get together for them. I need to go ahead and start having them practice because things will be like majorly different. Hopefully it will get me to not be so stressed out. There are also free resources. If you cannot afford to homeschool and get the curriculum and the books, please do not let that stop you if that is something that you would like to do. There is a lot of free curriculum out there, and there's a lot of free websites that allow you to print things off and that you can use. Also, utilize the library. We do utilize the library, and we go to the library. We haven't checked out books like that, but they have a whole lot of homeschooling stuff that is out there. So that is a major thing. All right. So also with the little one, the 2-year-old. So here are the major subjects that we will be working with her. So shapes, colors, numbers, alphabet, reading, writing, coloring, and animal sounds. So we'll go ahead and start doing that with her. Some of the other stuff will just be incorporated with the other kids and what they will be learning already. Then we want to go ahead and look at supplies. Like, what kind of supplies will we be needing? So I want to get each one of the kids a book holder, possibly a lap desk. That way they can do their work on the rug, and I want to do a circle rug for circle time in the morning. Carpet square, so that way they know, you have to sit here when we're doing this, that, and that, or whatever. They say that just helps the child understand that this is learning time. This is not playtime. You got to stay on your square. As long as you're on your square, we are learning. Okay. So then we have markers, crayons, all of the stuff that you would basically need when they ask for the school supply list for regular school. Like, we need those types of things too. I need to go ahead and put on here a whiteboard because that also, I watched the YouTube video and she said that it helps the kids because then they start understanding what they may not be able to read what is on the board, but they'll be able to see, oh, okay, so we'll check off morning routine. Morning routine is done. We'll check off recognizing alphabet. That's done too. We'll check off numbers. That's done too. And as we go down the line, they'll be able to check things off and, oh, okay, we'll see, we're almost done. Okay, so besides all of that type of stuff, and I guess you need to understand that I did not have a good first year, okay? My first year was not good. But other than that, with all of this being said, I just feel like you should just give yourself grace. If you think that it's not going to be a good time, just understand that the first year and each year after that, there are struggles. Like, these homeschooling mamas are not perfect, okay? Any mama that you see out here and she says that her school is perfect, she's lying. She's lying. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because I have talked to many of the women at church, and they have always told me that your homeschool is not perfect. You may have 2 good weeks, but that 3rd week, every day has gone wrong. So I just want you to know that, know and understand, give yourself grace. You'll be able to do it. If things do not pan out the way that you want them to, and this is your first year, give yourself some grace, move on. Get to that 2nd year and keep on going. I can't tell you how many times I told her I wanted to send her back to school. Okay, just because it's just easier it's just easier. So testing is not hard. Figuring out what days you want to homeschool is really not that difficult. I think the hardest part is getting the kids to cooperate. That's the hardest part. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below, the notification bell next to it, and I will see you in the next video.